So, after creating the product list, one of the basic and expected activity is to document the products. You might be asking, what does document mean? You need to document the product descriptions. Okay. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Oscar Mbira. I'm a certified program and project manager. This is the channel which I use to help aspiring and also practicing project managers to succeed. So the process of documenting has got so many sections when it comes to product documentation or product description. So I'm going to take you through these sections one by one so that you appreciate how to document a product. If you want to download, I also have a template on the product description. You can also find the link in the description below. The process of important section you have to capture in your product description document is the identifier. This is very important. You need to be able to identify a product throughout the project. Say, for example, it's an executive report, which you normally do maybe once in 3 months or once in a month, like that. You want to be able to identify that, so you need to assign an identifier. I've seen some project managers using numeric, but I can tell you it's very difficult for someone to just remember report number 2, number 30, and so on and so forth. And also you might end up running out of numbers or having very big numbers. But you can also use numeric. I've also used in some of my projects. I would prefer an alphanumeric setup, which means you're mixing letters and also numbers. For example, you say ABC, 1, 2, 3. But it's all up to you. It's a free format. You can choose the way you want to create an identifier. But you should be able to identify a product throughout the project. The most important, you're enjoying the video so far. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to click the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button, so that you're the first person to be notified each time a new video is uploaded on this channel. It will also help the channel to grow. It will also help the channel to produce more videos like this one. So that is the first section. The second section, you're also supposed to put the title. And on the title, try to summarize. Don't put a big story on it, because remember, these are some of the items you're going to use when you create your product flow or even a product-based structure. So try to make it simple. Where it's applicable, you can even use an abbreviation. For example, business requirement document, you can just call it BRD as an example. Or if it's a design document, you can just call it design document IDD, something like that. If it's a report, you can say RRD for report request document. But it's all up to you. Just try to make it as simple as possible. I've seen some projects where some project managers, they create a legend or even some key to say if it is BRD, it means BRD. But it will take also some time for someone to read the abbreviation first and then going on to the key to try to understand. So my advice is try as much as possible to make it summarized so that it makes sense. Then after the title, what is expected in terms of documenting the products or the deliverable? You must always put the purpose. You don't want to have some things you don't need in the project, or you don't know what is going to be the use of that product. So if you don't need it, don't include it, don't produce it. So you also need to describe the purpose of that product. Say, for example, this is going to be a design document that is going to be used to build the system, if it is a software system, as an example. So there are also some products which are composites, which means they are also made of other products. For example, you want a product like an engine. Engine has got so many other components inside. So the other section you also need to capture is the composition of the product. Okay. So you might be asking, why are we going through all these sections? When it comes to planning, these specific items are very important for your planning. Say, for example, one of the components in the composite product is coming from outside the project. So you have to plan for that. And you have to plan by consulting either the supplier or the manufacturer. So the composition of the product should also be captured in the product description. Then also, there are some products which are derived from some other products. And remember, we spoke about our product flow. For you to come up with a design solution, there must be a requirement solution. So you also need to put the details as to derivations. Is it coming from another product? You also need to capture that. Why you need to capture that? During the planning process, you also need to make sure you have included all those activities, because it's a derived product. So you need to say, how is it being derived from the previous product or from another product? What activities have to be done? So that has to be captured as part of the product description also. So if you want to dive deeper into appreciating what is project planning, I've also created an ebook which you can access in the description below. It will help you to appreciate step by step how do you start project planning from scratch all the way up to the end. So the other information that you have to capture when you are capturing the product description is also the format and the presentation. Okay? The reason for doing that is when you go deeper into activities to produce the product, and you know the format and you know the presentation, it becomes very easy in your plan to capture the actual detail. So many project managers, they get surprises. They have not captured this product. Remember, we're using product-based approach, not the traditional activity-based approach. They start discovering that there are certain products they are supposed to create and they were not planned for. Some of them might even take long, some might not. I think you can now agree with me why I was saying product-based approach is one of the best planning approach that I normally use, and it has given me results. So you also need to capture all those details. Also in the product description, you're supposed to capture the skills required to create that product. The reason why you're capturing that, remember we spoke about product flow. You also want to be able to plan, say for example, you want training for the people to be able to produce the product, or you want to import the skills from somewhere else, probably it will be additional budget, and so on and so forth. So it is quite important that you also capture the skills that are required to produce that product. Also, you're enjoying the video so far. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to click the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button, so that you're the first person to be notified each time a new video is uploaded on this channel. It will also help the channel to grow. It will also help the channel to produce more videos like this one. Then the next part of it is the quality criteria. Everything that you produce in a project, there must be someone to check. It could be a team manager, it could be a team member, or even you as a project manager. But what are you going to check? So that has to be defined upfront. If you don't define that, it means you're not going to be able to plan for it. So you need to define the quality criteria for each and every product that you're going to produce or that you're going to use in the project. For example, you might say, in terms of weight, it should be 60 kgs. So when the product is done, you weigh it, you check, and then you make a judgment. If it is a document, probably you're saying the minimum is 5 pages. So it means once the team which is building the product, they have confirmed they are done, you also check, is it 5 pages, 6, 7? Then you can confirm it's good or not, or fit for purpose. So quality criteria is very important. There's also quality tolerance. You also need to put it in the product description, so that as a project manager, you plan for that tolerance. So you could be asking, Oscar, what is this quality tolerance? Tolerance, we are talking about how flexible, to what extent can you miss the requirements, but still the product is acceptable. I've seen it with weight, for example. Someone might say the final product must be, say for example, 30 kgs. And then maybe by any margin of error, it's 29 kgs. It can be accepted, which means the tolerance is 1 kg. It's accepted. In some cases, they're very strict. 30 must be 30. So it also needs to be defined in the product description section of the product. How are you going to accept anything that is that was not according to the requested or to the requirements? So that is also very important to capture. Then the next section also, which is very important, is also the quality method. How are you going to confirm that the products, they are complete? How are you going to confirm that the products are fit for purpose? That is very, very important to note in a product description document. And it is also very important for you to note that because you're going to use it during your planning process. Say, for example, the quality method is in process. There are normally 2 quality methods that you can use, in process and appraisal. By in process, I mean, as the product is being created, it is also being checked against the quality methods or the quality criteria that you have defined earlier. Then appraisal is you wait for the product to be finished and then you check. So quality method must be part of your product description because you need it during planning. Say, for example, the quality method or checks, they're going to involve external inspectors. We normally see it with construction projects. Local board inspectors, they might come to check if things are being done properly. So imagine you had not planned for that, and you want to book the local board inspectors to come maybe within a week or 2 weeks. You are told they can only be available after 4 months because they are busy with other projects. So I believe you can now see how we are linking product description and planning, and why you should use the product-based approach. So that is also very important. It must be recorded in terms of quality method. One is also on the quality skills that are required. How are you going to determine who is going to do that? Are they qualified? Where are you going to get the people to confirm the quality? So it also has to be part of your product description. And then you also include it into your project plan. One is also on the quality list in terms of product description is the quality responsibility. Each and every product that you create, it must have someone who has to be responsible to confirm and accept the product. Is it now okay? Or does it require some changes? Or does it require even a total revamp, and so on and so forth? So in your product description, make sure you also have the quality responsibility. That is very important, especially for planning purposes. When you are planning, you need to know who is responsible for what product, how long are they going to take, what do they need, and so on and so forth. Last but not least, if you want me to create additional videos based on the concepts or also on the points that we've discussed in this video on project planning, you can reach out to me or you can let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.